right, we are looking at logs and exponential equations. Do I remember these from last? Rules for the products and quotients of logs. Log base b of mn equals log base b of m plus log base b of n. Do I remember that? That's called the product rule. What's the one that goes along with product rule? Not division. What does it say? Quotient. Do y'all remember what the quotient rule is going to say? Log base b of m divided by n becomes log base b of m minus log base b of n. Does that make sense? Do you remember the third rule? Do I remember it? What's it called? Yeah, what's it called? Do you remember? Okay. This is the power rule. Log base b of m to the n. The n is an exponent. You can take your exponents and put them in front of your log. It's just m to the n, like 2 cubed. Something else to remember? Log base b of x equals log base b of y. Then x equals y. Does that make sense? Any ideas what we would do at first? Of 5x plus 10 equals 2. Do you agree? 5 times x plus 2. We have a log over here, but do we have a log on this right side? Okay, so what do we have to do? Write it in what kind of form? Exponential. So 4 to the what? Equals 5x plus 10. So 16 equals 5x plus 10. Then what? So x equals, we need to make sure that that actually works. Can we take the log of a negative number? Okay. 6 over 5 plus 2, is that a positive number? They're both positive, right? Okay. And that is our answer. Y'all see how that works? Do y'all remember doing these from last year? What is different about this problem? We got ln's on all three, right? Yeah. It's log base e. But do we treat them basically the same as logs? Okay. So what would you start by doing? Since we have a minus sign here, you're going to divide the two. And so what is this going to equal? Now what? Yeah, I'm going to write it like this first, and then you'll get to what you just said. If you have an ln on both sides, they cancel. It was this last rule down here. Log base b of x equals log base b of y, then x equals y. So Macy said x minus 1 equals 14x plus 28. Do you agree with that? She just cross multiplied, right? So 13x equals, and so x would equal, what do we have to do? Okay, negative 29 over 13 minus 1 is negative. Okay, so do we even need to check the other one? So what does that mean? No solution. No solution. So if you gave me negative 29 over 3 as the answer, what would I do? Mark it wrong. You can say x equals negative 29 over 3, but it doesn't work, so no solution. Does that make sense? You think you can do this one by yourself? Maybe? You agree with that part? Right? X equals plus or minus the square root of 2. If you look up here, right here, it's 2 log base 8 of x. Can we plug in positive square root of 2? Can we plug in negative? So it is only. Does that make sense? Any questions on that one? None? All right, it says solve this one without using logs. Do you remember last year adding logs to both sides of the equation and then going from there? Can you think of another way to do it? 8 to the what? Okay, can you you think it's something that 8 and 16 both, they both have a, like 2 to the something would be 8 and 2 to the something would be 16, right? Y'all were getting on the right track. 16 raised to, 8 raised to something to give you 16, but I don't know what it is off the top. So instead of 8, what's that right? 2 to the third is 3x, and instead of 16. Does that make sense? Wait. Gotta make sure everybody gets that part first. So you always want to try and put them in the same base. So start with 2, 3, and 5. Usually it's going to be 2 or 3. 2 to the what? Now what? Our bases are the same, so our exponents equal each other. Makes sense? So 9x equals -2, so x equals, do we have to check this one? Why not? There ain't a log on it. You don't have to check to make sure it'll plug into it correctly. I mean, if you want to check your answer to make sure you didn't mess up, you can, but it's not. Looking at 10 to the -2x plus 2 equals 8. It tells us that we'll have to use logs. But why? 8 we can write as 2 to the third. 10, I don't know how to write 10. I mean, I'm sure you could do it 10, like 2 to the decimal or something, but I don't know. Does that make sense? So I would want to use what? Log base 10, okay? So I have to write base 10, okay? Of 10 to the -2x plus 2, and that would equal log base 10 of 8. Does that make sense? What do we do with this power? Do you agree? Okay, log base 10 of 10 is what? So what happens to it? Just kind of goes away. 1 times anything is just whatever you're multiplying 1 by. So we have -2x plus 2 equals log of 8. Now what? Plug what into a calculator? Log of 8. Do you agree? Okay, now what? Subtract 2 from that number. I get -2x equals, do you agree with that so far? And then what? Do y'all get that for your answer? Again, do we have to make sure that it is going to be a positive when we plug it into a log? Why not? We don't have logs in our original problem. We added them later. Any questions on this one? Okay? Any ideas where you would start on this one? Why ln? We have an e, so we want to use ln's. Any ideas what we're going to do with ln? Just like your logs, you add it to both sides. Y'all see how that works? Okay, so what happens to the left side of the equation? What is the ln of e? So it goes away. And so now we're just left with negative 2x plus 3 equals, what do we do? Use your calculator. Don't try and do that in your head. I don't know how you would, but don't try. Do you agree? Then what are you going to do? Subtract 3, and then what? Do you agree? Any questions? Do y'all understand how to do these? Like that one? They're not too bad. They're not too bad. I knew as soon as he started asking the question, I knew what he was going to say. It just means you use your calculator a little bit more. Do you know what you would start by doing on this one? You should know. Wayne says, I don't know what to do on this. I'm like, you should know what to do. Yes, Macy, that was right. Mm-hmm. So see if you can do that correctly. Was that a lot of plugging in decimals into your calculator? Did you get the same thing? Okay. I'm going to show you a different way to do it once you get here. Do you agree? All I did was distribute the logs. Okay. I'm going to put my x's over here and my non-x's over here. So 2 log 6 5 log of 6 2 log of 5. All of that multiplied by x. Does that make sense? How would you solve for x? Divide by that, right? 2 log of 6 minus log of 5 over 9 log 6. Then did you have to use a calculator at all? You could leave it like that. I don't know what they're going to do on your answer sheet. I don't remember. Whatever they do on your answer sheet, that's what I would prefer. I haven't worked them, so I don't really know what they want. Yes, Matthew. Yeah, you can say yes. You can say log of 36. If you wanted to square the 6 and 9 to the, I mean 6 to the ninth, you could do that. I can't reach very far with this thing. I'm trying to look and see what they're going to put. I think they're going to do it like that. Leave that as your answer, not put a decimal. That's what it's looking like without having to use a calculator. I don't know. I feel like I'm more likely to make a mistake in the decimals. That's just me. I don't know. Because if you like mess up on one decimal place, then you're off on the whole thing. Log of 6. Does that make sense? Any questions there?